Welcome back, adventurers, once again to Let's Play ChäoS Head. And in the last episode, Takumi spent the day pondering the fact that he was wrong about Rimi Sakihata. Although he still has absolutely no clue as to why he witnessed her at the staking murder, whether that was a delusion or some completely unique phenomenon apparent to him, remains unknown for the time being. But nonetheless, fortunately for Rimi, Takumi no longer sees her as an enemy, is basically the gist of what I'm trying to say. In fact, he's gotten to the point where he can rely on her as an ally. Meanwhile, though, Takumi has been trying to get back into his old habits and not let them fall apart completely, which brought him back to Shoto Park, where he made the revelations about Rimi, although he was hesitant to visit there because of the fact that Yua might reappear out of nowhere. We haven't seen her in quite some time. But fortunately there was no sign of her, at least fortunately for Takumi, so he returned to Sume Academy and is pretty much trying to keep things low-key as usual. Although he did end up running into Kozue of all people, who apparently was having trouble climbing the stairs and had unfortunately managed to fall down the stairs and injure herself. Well, despite the fact that she cut her knee, she seemed quite happy with the fact that she had a band-aid on hand to put over the injury. Why she was happy about having the band-aid is something that I couldn't possibly tell you. But that being said, Takumi has returned to his classroom. Unfortunately, nobody else has deigned to notice him. Although, if routine is back in fashion, then suffice to say that Daisuke Misumi will undoubtedly either already be here or he'll show up at some point. I silently took my seat. Come to think of it, I seem to remember that transfer student saying something to me on the day she transferred in. Something about being glad we were in the same class. I remember that. I also remember the fact that there was something odd about how she spoke. That's all I remember. Rimi had soon made me forget all about it, but I wondered what those words had meant.
Yo, Taku.
And lo and behold, Daisuke is here, and in a break from tradition, he didn't slap Takumi on the back once. As always, Mizumi-kun was calling me. Maybe the truth was that he didn't have any friends besides me, despite his hobby. At least the way he always started talking to me and only me was sufficient to give me such doubts.
聞いてくれよ。昨日さ、怪しいおっさん2人が校長室に入ってくるのを見たんだ。
Two sketchy old guys, eh? That doesn't bode well, especially for Takumi.
で、俺とリミトでこっそり盗み聞きしてみたら、びっくりしたぜ。
I think if Takumi's brain is working correctly, he can put two and two together.
その2人、刑事だったんだぜ。
Or Daisuke can just come out and say it. But there are only two such detectives that we're currently familiar with. That, of course, being Ban and his junior partner Suwa, who, when we last saw them, was pretty much the two of them were visiting Takumi's old elementary school in light of the accident that happened many years ago. So it only stands to reason that their trail would eventually lead them to Suame Academy. Although Suo has already been here, because if we remember, Takumi had glimpsed Suo sometime earlier and pretty much mistook him for a teacher.
え
Detectives.
なんか深刻そうに全校生徒の名簿とか見ててよ。もしかしてニュージェネと関係あんのかな。
Daisuke may be thick sometimes, but even he can be somewhat fairly astute in the worst possible ways. Perhaps it meant the real New Gen criminal was a student at the school. Unfortunately, Takumi, you believe that Rimi was, quote-unquote, the demon girl who was the New Gen criminal. But as it happens, recent events have completely caused that theory to crash and burn, which means that your story to Ban and Suo now no longer holds any weight, and would instead serve to throw Rimi on the blue bus if they suspect her of being the New Gen criminal after all. No matter what, all I kept thinking of was Rimi's face, and it's a good thing you are.
まあ盗み聞きしてたら見事にバレちゃったんだけどね。
And speaking of which, there she is. I jumped. Speak of the devil, or whatever they say at times like this. When I heard Rimi's voice burst in on us, I felt my heart rate leap. And Takumi actually took the words right out of my mouth. And by that I mean, of course, speak of the devil. I couldn't lift my face. I was tense, but it was an utterly different kind of tension from what I had felt up until last week. Because up until this point, Takumi had viewed Rimi Sakihata as an adversary. But now that he views her as a friend and companion, he doesn't quite know how to react either, because he has no recollection of Rimi Sakihata being his friend.
あれはお前がドア勝手に開けたせいだぞ。分かってんのか。
In other words, Daisuke and Rimi are your typical comedy duo.
しょうがないでしょ。本物の刑事さんって見るの初めてだったからちょっと興奮しちゃってつい。
I guess that's what happens when you lean right up against the door.
何をどうやったらついドアを開けるんだよ。おかげで俺らまで刑事から話を聞かれる羽目になったんだからな。
Alas, poor Daisuke.
大臣ってば刑事さんに聞かれちゃまずいことでもあったの？
And Rimi does not mince words, especially when it comes to Daisuke Misumi.
そういうお前はどうなんだ。
さあね。
Misumi-kun and Rimi sandwiched my desk as they carried on their conversation. They disregarded my existence. But to be honest, I liked it better that way. I wasn't confident that I would be able to say anything back if Rimi did talk to me. Well, they were kind of talking to you right then and there. I'd anticipated the chime ringing without either of them saying anything to me, but when I flicked a look at the clock, there was still 5 minutes till the warning bell. So, we actually managed to get here early. Then again, we kind of needed to in order to make up for the lost time.
そういやタク、ここに来る途中で梢ちゃん見なかったか。
Well, as it so happens, Daisuke, we did. Kind of. Kozue-chan. Who? I see, you're confused because Daisuke used the Chan honorific. It happens sometimes.
ああ、そっか。どうせお前のことだから覚えてねえとは思ったけど、マジでそうだったんだな。
Even though we literally met her or ran into her like not 2 minutes ago.
先週転校してきた子のことだよ。折原梢ちゃん。
Oh, so that transfer student was called Kozue Orihara.
階段で
階段？
Yeah, she kind of fell down the
見
stairs.
た。
お、そっか。じゃあもうすぐ来るな。
Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, Takumi's panic attacks are definitely starting to get the better of him in this situation. Mizumi-kun's voice was brimming with enthusiasm. I hadn't seen them act this lively since a few days ago, when he found out that Fez was a girl from the class next door. You also remember the fact that Fez completely ignored Daisuke's advances completely and utterly, and basically shot him down without even giving him time of day. In short, I'd never seen him put much effort into anything unrelated to girls, which, if you connect the dots, means that Kozue Orihara is now next on Daisuke Mizumi's list. Now that you mentioned it, I'd also seen him go to hit on her last week, pretty much as soon as she arrived. He really was indomitable. Way to go. Never mind the fact that you have a girlfriend. That sarcasm of yours there, Takumi, is definitely worth it.
なあ、梢ちゃんってマジ可愛いと思わねえ？
If the phrasing you're looking for is moe, the answer to that is probably a no. You sure ask me things I find hard to answer. I nodded ambiguously. Apparently he took it as a sign of agreement.
太郎！俺一目で気に入っちまったよ。なんか守ってやりたくなるんだよな。
Really? Because for some reason some of the other students didn't seem to have that much of an attitude towards her.
男子みんなも同じ意見だよ。どいつも可愛いって言ってんだ。けどよ、女子の間じゃあんま評判良くねえんだよな。
Something tells me that you are less upset about the fact that the other girls do not care about Kozue, and more on the fact that the other male students are the ones who are calling her, that is Kozue, cute. Jealousy, thy name is Daisuke.
まだ転校してきたばっかだぜ。それなのに早くもうざいみたいな意見まで出てきてんだよ。
Or then again, I might stand corrected, and Daisuke, despite his womanizing ways, actually does have a sensitive side to him.
このクラスの女子って性格悪いやつ多すぎだ。
Against some of them, you probably don't have a leg to stand on, but with others, you might very well have hit the nail on the head. Of course, if you're referring to Rimi, then you're pretty much a sunken ship at this point.
それって大臣のせいじゃないの？だいたいそのうざいって言ったのどうせ大臣の彼女でしょ？
Rimi pouring salt in the proverbial wound. Ouch.
ああ、そうだけど。
そりゃあ彼女にしてみればうざいに決まってるよ。自分の彼氏が目の前で折原さんを口説きに行っちゃってたらさ。
As much as it's entertaining for you to harp all over Daisuke, Rimi, I think you're starting to go a little bit too far over the threshold there.
私でさえよく喧嘩売られるんだから、大輔君に近寄らないでって。しかも一人じゃなくて何人かから言われた。
Now, actually, that strikes me as being somewhat peculiar. Why would people tell Rimi to stay away from Daisuke of all people?
マジ？
Even Daisuke is surprised by this.
自覚なしか。少しは反省したら？
I think your SRL on that little request there.
いやー、モテる男は辛いぜ。
And Daisuke just goes right back to being oblivious, because of course he does.
これだよ。さすが女の敵。私フォローしてあげないからね。
Which is pretty much why Daisuke gets on Rimi's nerves sometimes.
あ、折原さん来た。
なんか怪我してるみたいじゃね？
Yeah, about the whole falling down the stairs thing. I kind of forgot to tell you about that.
本当だ。どうしたんだろう。
That was what she'd gotten when she tripped on the stairs earlier. Probably should speak up about that. Of course, I didn't feel like telling these two about it. For now, at any rate, I wanted to avoid talking to Rimi as much as I could, even though you considered her an ally.
俺、ちょっと行ってくる。
But then again, talking to Rimi in a classroom full of lesser-known students is probably not going to sit well with Takumi. Mizumi-kun dashed up to the transfer student. Thanks to his departure, Rimi was the only person left nearby my seat. Congratulations, Daisuke. Please don't leave me, Mizumi-kun. Too late. Too little too late. And, Rimi is feeling kind of sad, but, unfortunately it's that time again where Takumi's anxiety goes, completely and absolutely haywire. But that is going to be it for this, episode of Let's Play ChäoS Head, and when we return, you should all know the drill by now when it comes to Takumi and his delusions. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.